What happens when Donald Trump threatens to choke your economy with brutal tariffs? Most countries panic, but not Indonesia. Instead of folding, Jakarta played smart and turned a looming trade war into a billion-dollar opportunity. Now, with a 13% tariff/$15 billion in energy deals and 50 Boeing jets in the air, Trump is calling it a win-win. But is it really? Let's unpack the full story. In July 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump made a bold move, one that could have spiraled into yet another trade war. He slapped a steep 32% tariff on Indonesian goods, threatening Southeast Asia's largest economy with painful import taxes. The world watched. Would Indonesia retaliate? Would this ignite a U.S.-Indonesia trade crisis? But Indonesia, under the leadership of President Prabowo Subianto, responded not with threats, but with strategy. Just days after Trump's tariff threat, both nations stunned the world with a joint announcement, a historic trade deal that slashed the tariff rate from 32% down to 19%. But this wasn't just about percentages. It was a masterstroke in diplomacy and economic bargaining. Here's what happened. Since his return to the White House, Trump's economic doctrine has been simple. America first, everyone pays. Starting in early 2025, Trump revived his controversial tariff agenda, targeting countries he accused of exploiting the U.S. market. In April, he imposed a 10% flat tariff on nearly all trading partners, including allies. Indonesia was no exception. Then came the ultimatum: pay 32% or make a deal. This put intense pressure on Jakarta. With two-way trade worth over $38.3 billion in 2024 and the U.S. running a $17.9 billion trade deficit, Indonesia risked losing vital access to American markets. Prabowo Subianto, Indonesia's newly elected president and a former military general, didn't react emotionally. Instead, he dispatched a high-level negotiation team to Washington, backed by economic strategists and trade experts. The message was clear: protect Indonesia's exports, secure American investment, and avoid a trade war. In a matter of weeks, both sides reached a deal that surprised analysts. The new tariff would be lowered to 19%, and Indonesia, in return, made major purchase commitments: $15 billion in U.S. energy products, $4.5 billion in U.S. agricultural goods, 50 Boeing aircraft, including many 777s. For Trump, this was a political victory. He could now say that he forced a major developing country to bend, and that American industries would benefit. For Prabowo, it was equally a win. He avoided devastating tariffs and came home with investment guarantees and strategic goods. On the surface, this looks like a transactional victory. But in reality, both nations had deeper interests. For Indonesia, the trade deal strengthens its global position. As a fast-growing economy in Southeast Asia, Jakarta wants to be seen as a reliable strategic partner, not just for China, but also for the West. This deal boosts investor confidence and helps modernize its aviation and energy sectors. For Trump, it's part of a broader re-election narrative. Having already made trade pacts with Vietnam and the UK, Trump needs tangible wins to show he can cut better deals than before. Indonesia's $20 billion commitment gives him that soundbite. Here's where the cracks begin to show. While Trump boasted that we pay zero, they pay 19%, critics argue that such a lopsided structure may backfire in the long run. U.S. exporters might benefit temporarily, but Indonesia's manufacturing sector now operates under higher costs when exporting to the U.S., potentially weakening competitiveness. And while the Boeing order sounds massive, industry insiders note that Indonesia already needed to modernize its fleet, especially post-COVID. This could have happened with or without a deal. The only difference is now it's tied to political optics. Moreover, Trump's threats of tariffs as a negotiation tool have made other nations uneasy. In the past few weeks, he's sent over 20 tariff notices to countries including the EU, South Korea, and Japan. This signals not cooperation, but economic coercion. Beyond trade, this agreement also carries a geopolitical weight. As China expands its influence across Asia, the U.S. is eager to keep strategic ties with countries like Indonesia, rich in resources, military significance, and regional sway. By securing this deal, Washington strengthens its foothold in Southeast Asia without direct confrontation with Beijing. Prabowo, known for balancing ties between the West and China, now holds a stronger diplomatic hand. He can bargain with both sides, which may explain his statement. This is a new era of mutual benefit between two great nations. While this deal sets a precedent, questions remain. Will Trump continue to weaponize tariffs to extract concessions from others? Can Indonesia sustain trade under a 19% barrier, or will future deals demand more balance? Will this shift global supply chains, pushing Jakarta closer to the West? One thing is clear. The Indonesia-US deal has reshaped the rules of economic engagement in the Asia-Pacific, not through confrontation, but negotiation. What do you think? Is this truly a win-win deal, or just another one-sided Trump maneuver? Should more countries stand firm or strike deals under pressure? Comment below and join the debate. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns of global power moves. Stay smart, stay informed, stay curious.